Have you ever sat on the edge of your bed in the morning, ready to stand up, but your knees just wouldn't cooperate the way they used to? You push up with your hands, shift your weight forward, and still, it feels like your legs are asking you, "Are you sure about this?" Or maybe you've reached for a jar in the kitchen, just an ordinary jar you've opened 100 times before, but this time, your grip feels weak, your hands tremble a little, and you suddenly wonder, when did this get so hard? You remember the days when your body just did what you needed without a second thought. Standing up, walking fast, carrying groceries, getting out of the car, lifting your grandchild, all the things that made you feel independent, useful, and confident. But now? It's like your muscles are on a slow fade. Not all at once, no, it's sneaky. It starts with little things. You feel a little slower. A little stiffer. You start using the armrest more. You rest more than you move. And before you know it, your body feels unfamiliar. Not broken. Just not you. But listen closely, because this part is important. You are not weak. You're not past the point of no return. And you are not alone. Loss of muscle strength is one of the most common, and most frustrating, parts of aging. It doesn't happen because you're lazy. It doesn't mean you've failed. It's biology. But here's the beautiful part, biology works both ways. What if I told you that just one simple daily habit, something you can do at home, without fancy equipment or hours of effort, could help restore that muscle strength? Could help you feel more steady, more powerful, even more like your younger self again? This habit isn't just a theory, it's backed by science, embraced by thousands of older adults around the world, and most importantly, it's completely doable, no matter your age or your starting point. In this video, I'm going to walk you through that one daily habit. Step by step. No fluff. No hype. Just the truth, and the tools to help you feel strong again. By the end, you'll understand exactly why this works, how to do it safely, and how to make it part of your day without overwhelming your body or your routine. So, before we dive in, I want you to do one simple thing. Scroll down and comment "stronger every day" if you're ready to feel more powerful in your body again, starting today. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Because here, we believe aging isn't about slowing down, it's about rising up with wisdom, strength, and joy. Ready? Let's begin. The habit I'm talking about is something I like to call intentional daily resistance. Not a workout. Not a fitness class. Just a quiet, focused moment each day where you gently remind your muscles that they still have a job to do. And they will respond. You don't need to lift heavy weights or go to a gym filled with loud machines. In fact, you don't even need to leave your home. Because this habit, this practice, can start with just your body, a chair, a wall, or even a couple of soup cans. Let me tell you about Joe. Joe is 76 years old. A few years back, he started noticing how much harder it was to climb the stairs in his home. He'd take them slowly, one step at a time, holding onto the rail like it was his lifeline. Eventually, he started avoiding the stairs altogether. Then came the moments when he'd sit in his favorite armchair and struggle to stand back up. He told himself it was just aging, just the way life goes. Until one day, his grandson asked him to come outside and play in the garden. And Joe couldn't. That moment stung. But Joe made a decision. He started doing just 10 minutes of resistance movement every morning, slow bodyweight squats using a chair for support, gentle wall push-ups, and a few curls with light resistance bands. That was it. No pressure. No big routine. Just consistency. 3 months later, Joe was not only climbing stairs again. He was back in the garden. Digging. Planting. Laughing. And more than that, he felt like himself again. Now here's what's happening under the surface. As we get older, something called sarcopenia starts to set in. That's the medical term for age-related muscle loss. It begins slowly, often around your 60s, and continues as the years go on. Your muscles shrink. Your strength fades. And everyday tasks feel heavier. But here's the hopeful truth: sarcopenia can be slowed down, and even reversed. And one of the best ways to do that is through regular, gentle resistance training. When you challenge your muscles, just a little bit each day, you send a signal. A message that says, hey, we still need strength here. And your body listens. It adapts. It starts rebuilding those fibers, reawakening that strength, one tiny layer at a time. Now, let's clear something up, because I know what you might be thinking: lifting weights? At my age? That sounds risky. I hear you. And you're not wrong to be cautious. But here's the thing: resistance training isn't about heavy lifting. It's about controlled, deliberate movement. It can be as simple as pressing your palms against a wall. Rising slowly from a chair without using your hands. Lifting a small object with focus and breathing. Most people think resistance training is for athletes or young people trying to bulk up. That's a myth. In fact, the older you are, the more important it becomes. Because strength doesn't just help you move, it helps prevent falls, improves your balance, protects your bones, and gives you back your independence. And it's not about doing it perfectly. It's about doing it consistently. 10 minutes a day. That's all. That could mean 5 squats to a chair. 10 slow wall push-ups. A few gentle bicep curls with water bottles or resistance bands. No special clothes. No complicated moves. Just you, your breath, and your decision to take control of your strength. And when you do it with intention, not rushing, not forcing, just mindful, gentle resistance. That's when the magic happens. But let me be clear, the habit alone isn't enough. It's how you approach it that truly matters. Because doing it the wrong way can lead to injury or burnout. Doing it the right way? That builds strength that lasts. Let's break it down step by step: how to start this habit safely, effectively, and in a way that fits you. No pressure. No pain. Just a simple daily rhythm that gives your body the message it's been waiting for. Let's talk about the first key element that makes this habit truly work: focus on form, not force. It sounds simple, right? But this one principle can make the difference between building lifelong strength and accidentally setting yourself back. Let me tell you a quick story. Alice is 82. Bright, independent, full of life. She heard about resistance training and decided to give it a try. Excited and determined, she grabbed some hand weights and started doing arm raises every morning. But here's what happened. She pushed too hard. She moved too fast. And within 2 weeks, she felt a sharp pain in her shoulder. It was frustrating. It made her doubt herself. And for a moment, she thought maybe this whole thing just wasn't for her. But Alice didn't quit. She reached out to a local trainer who worked with older adults, and together, they made one simple change: she slowed down. She learned to move with control, to breathe with each motion, and to stay mindful of her posture. No more pain. No more pressure. Just gentle strength, and steady progress. You see, when it comes to restoring muscle strength, it's not about pushing your body to its limit. It's about working with your body, listening to it, respecting it. Proper form is what protects you. It ensures that the right muscles are being activated, not your joints, not your tendons, not the areas that are prone to injury. You don't need to move fast. In fact, the slower you go, the better. Slow, deliberate movement builds control. And control is what builds true strength. There's a common misconception that if you're not sweating or sore, it's not working. But let me tell you, pain is not progress. Soreness does not equal success. And straining your body doesn't make you stronger, it makes you vulnerable. Another mistake I see often? Trying to do too much, too soon. Whether that means lifting something too heavy, rushing through a movement, or ignoring that little ache in your knee because you think you have to tough it out. You don't. You're not training for a marathon. You're training for life. For confidence. For stability. For dignity. So, here's a little advice: if you can, try doing your movements in front of a mirror. Watch how your body moves. Are your knees tracking over your feet during a squat? Are your shoulders relaxed during a wall push-up? Is your back straight when you lift? And if you're not sure, that's okay. Ask someone you trust to take a quick look. Sometimes, a gentle correction is all it takes to protect your joints and get even better results. And always, always, move at your own pace. No rushing. No racing. Just you, your breath, and your commitment to getting a little stronger, a little steadier, every day. Remember this: slow, steady, smooth. That's how you win the race. Now that we've covered the importance of form, how to move with care, not force, let's talk about how often you should be doing this. Because consistency is key, but your body also needs the right rhythm. Let's find it together. Let's talk about something that makes all the difference, but often gets overlooked. The power of routine. You might be surprised by how much your body can do, not in one big moment, but in the quiet repetition of daily effort. Let me introduce you to Frank. Frank, 79, lives alone, and has always been independent. But over the last year, he noticed himself struggling more and more to get up from the couch. He'd lean forward, push with his hands, rock a little to build momentum. He said it felt like lifting a sack of bricks with legs that forgot how to work. But instead of giving up, Frank tried something simple. Every morning, before breakfast, he made himself do just 5 chair squats. No weights. No timer. Just sitting down and standing up, 5 times, with intention and breath. That's it. 5 squats. 2 weeks later, Frank said something changed. He wasn't struggling to rise anymore. His legs felt firmer. His balance felt better. And most importantly, he said he felt capable again. That's the beauty of consistency over intensity. You don't need to push yourself to exhaustion. You don't need to break a sweat or ache the next day. You just need to show up, every day. Because strength isn't built in a burst. It's built in moments, stacked one after the other, like bricks. Each repetition lays another stone. Each day, another layer. Until suddenly, you're standing taller. Moving easier. Living better. Now here's the mistake that trips a lot of people up: trying to do too much, too fast. Maybe one day you feel motivated, so you go all in. You try 30 reps, you grab the heavier weights. You push yourself past your limit. And the next day, you're sore, tired, discouraged. So you skip a day. Then another. And before you know it, that one skipped day becomes a skipped week. That's how motivation fizzles. But routine? Routine keeps the fire going, even on the days when you're not feeling your best. Here's what I recommend: pick a time. Maybe it's right after you wake up. Maybe it's right before lunch. Maybe it's while your coffee brews or as you wait for the kettle to whistle. Whatever the time, make it yours. Write it down. Set a little reminder on your phone. Put a sticky note on the fridge if you have to. Let it become a part of your rhythm, like brushing your teeth or turning on the lights. Not a chore. Just something you do, because you care about your strength. Because you care about you. And the best part? You'll start to feel it. Not just in your body, but in your mind. You'll walk a little more confidently. You'll stand up a little easier. And that feeling? That sense of, I can still do this? It's worth every moment of effort. So, remember, it's not how much you do in one day. It's what you choose to do every day. Now, we've talked about movement, form, and routine. But there's one more piece to this puzzle that a lot of people forget, and it can make or break your results. Let's talk about nutrition, and how it supports your muscles in the fight to stay strong. You can be doing everything right with your exercises. But if your body isn't getting the fuel it needs, it's like trying to build a house without bricks. Your muscles love protein. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She's 74, full of determination. She had been doing her daily resistance routine for nearly 2 months, careful with her form, consistent every morning. But something wasn't adding up. She wasn't feeling stronger. Her clothes didn't fit any differently. And she was starting to wonder if maybe, it just wasn't working for her. Then, at a routine checkup, her doctor asked a simple question: "Are you eating enough protein?" Eleanor paused. She thought about her meals: toast and tea for breakfast, maybe some fruit or crackers at lunch, and something small for dinner. She realized she hadn't really paid attention to protein in years. So, she made a change. She started having eggs in the morning. Added beans to her soup. Chose fish instead of just rice. She even found a protein shake she liked, simple, smooth, and easy on her stomach. And guess what? Within weeks, her body responded. Her strength improved. Her energy came back. Her efforts in those 10 minutes of daily resistance finally started showing up where it mattered, in how she felt, how she moved, how she lived. Here's the truth: as we age, our bodies actually need more protein, not less. That may sound surprising, but science backs it up. You see, when you exercise, especially resistance training, you create tiny, harmless tears in your muscle fibers. That's normal. That's good. That's how growth happens. But your body needs the right building blocks to repair and rebuild. And those building blocks? They come from protein. Now here's the mistake a lot of folks make, especially as we get older: we skip meals. We snack on toast, crackers, or sweets. We eat what's easy or what feels light, but often, that means we're getting carbs and very little protein. And without enough protein, your body can't rebuild. You're doing all the hard work, but your muscles don't have what they need to recover and grow. So, here's some gentle advice: just like I'd give a friend, try to include a source of protein in every meal. It doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Scrambled eggs or Greek yogurt in the morning. Lentil soup, tuna salad, or grilled chicken at lunch. Baked beans, cottage cheese, or a protein smoothie in the evening. Even a handful of nuts can make a difference. And if you're ever unsure how much you need, a good rule of thumb is about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, but of course, always check with your doctor first. Because here's the thing: it's not about getting bulky. It's about staying strong. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to support your independence, your movement, your confidence. Eleanor found her strength again, not just by moving, but by fueling her movement. You can too. So, we've talked about resistance, we've talked about routine, and now, the fuel that powers your progress. But there's still one last element to this journey. One that ties it all together: body, mind, and spirit. And it might just be the most powerful one yet. Let's talk about mindset. Because how you think about your strength can change everything. Rest is not laziness. It's actually one of the most essential parts of getting stronger. Let me tell you about Tom. Tom is 74. Retired mechanic. Proud grandfather. And when he decides to do something, he goes all in. So when he learned about resistance exercises and how they could help him feel strong again, he jumped in with both feet. Every morning, without fail, he was up at 6:30. He did squats by the sink, bicep curls with water jugs, push-ups against the wall. Day after day, no breaks, no rest days, no letting up. And after 2 weeks, guess what happened? He didn't feel stronger. He felt worn down. His knees ached. His shoulders were stiff. And that spark of motivation? It started to fade. So, he brought it up to his physical therapist. And she said something that changed everything. You don't get stronger when you move, you get stronger when you recover from the movement. Think about that for a second. Every time you gently challenge your muscles, you create the tiniest bits of strain. And your body says, okay, let's adapt. Let's rebuild. But it can only rebuild when you rest. And that's the part so many of us skip. Because we're used to thinking more is better. That pushing harder means faster results. But the truth? Especially as we age, balance is everything. You see, even light workouts can lead to overtraining if there's no time for recovery. Muscles need space to breathe, time to grow. And your joints, your tendons, your energy levels, they all benefit when you give them a chance to catch up. So, what's the best way to approach this? Simple. Alternate your focus. Try strength work just 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And on the other days? Keep moving, but gently. A short walk. Some stretching. Light yoga. Or just a day to rest. And here's a bonus tip, don't do the same exercises every time. If you focused on your legs on Monday, work your arms or core on Wednesday. This gives your body time to recover while still staying active. It's a rhythm. Movement and stillness. Effort and ease. That's where true strength lives. So, if you've ever felt guilty about taking a break, or wondered if slowing down was a step backward, let this be your reminder, rest is part of the process. It's not a sign of weakness. It's wise. Just like Tom learned. You don't have to go non-stop. You just have to keep going, in a way that respects your body's needs. And now that we've talked about rest, let's bring all of this together. Because this isn't just about muscles, or routines, or food, it's about something deeper. It's about what this strength really means in your life, and why it matters more than you might think. Let's pause here, and talk about something real. Because if you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, I don't feel like myself anymore, you're not alone. Maybe it's when you struggled to open a jar that used to twist off like nothing. Or that moment you hesitated before stepping off a curb. Or when you realized that carrying groceries, or even just standing up, felt heavier than it used to. These changes can be frustrating. And if we're honest, they can also be scary. Because nobody talks about how it feels to lose strength. How it affects your confidence, your sense of independence, your spirit. But here's what I want you to know, right now, you're not powerless. Every single small choice you make today, stretching for 5 minutes. Lifting a light weight. Choosing a protein-packed breakfast. Resting without guilt. These are not just habits. They are signals to your body that say, I'm still here. I still care. I'm not giving up. And your body listens. Because it hasn't stopped trying to support you, it just needs you to show up, one small step at a time. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't about trying to rewind the clock. You're not trying to be 40 again. You're trying to feel like you again. To move without fear. To trust your legs. To lift yourself up, literally and emotionally. It's about being able to walk through the grocery store without feeling drained halfway through. It's about picking up your grandchild without worrying if your back will hold. It's about waking up, looking in the mirror, and feeling proud of what you're doing for you. So, here's what I encourage you to do, start this habit, this intentional daily resistance, and just give it 1 week. 10 minutes a day. Gentle, safe, focused effort. Then take note. Notice how you feel. Even the smallest changes, feeling more stable on your feet, having more energy after lunch, sleeping a little deeper, they matter. And they will grow. This is not about perfection. This is about progress. Because here's the truth you may not hear enough: you are not too old. It is not too late. Your muscles still respond. Your strength can still return. Your confidence can still rise. Your body, right now, is simply waiting for the signal to begin rebuilding. And that signal, it doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. It can be a whisper. A decision. A moment when you say, "I'm ready." And if that moment is today, then I'm here to say, I'm proud of you. So go ahead. Start small. Start today. Because every step you take toward strength brings you one step closer to yourself. To recap, it all starts with one powerful, daily habit: intentional resistance movement. But it's not just about doing the exercises. It's how you do them. 1. You focus on form over force, because slow and steady is safer and far more effective. 2. You stick with it, because consistency, not intensity, is what really builds strength over time. 3. You fuel your body. Because protein is the secret ingredient that helps muscles rebuild and grow. 4. And you let your body rest, because recovery is where the magic happens. All of these pieces, together, they create a rhythm. A gentle, daily message to your body that says, I'm rebuilding. I'm reclaiming my strength. Now I want to hear from you. What's one physical activity you used to love but stopped doing? Maybe it was dancing in the kitchen, taking long walks, swimming, even just kneeling down to pull a weed in the garden. Comment below and tell me. And more importantly, tell me how you're planning to get back to it. I read every single one, and your story might inspire someone else to start, too. And hey, if this video gave you even a flicker of hope, if you feel a little more motivated than you did before, then go ahead and tap that subscribe button. Here on Elderly Wisdom Guide, we're not chasing youth, we're celebrating strength, purpose, and vitality at every stage of life. You deserve tools that help you live better, not just longer. So, stay strong. Stay curious. And above all, keep moving forward. I'm proud of you. Thank you for spending this time with me. And I'll see you in the next video.